hear some noise in the room. I know it's the afternoon, but this is a real treat. And I'm really honored that I've been asked to facilitate the Grace Spectrum. And in the little minute that I have read what I'm reading in this book, it is marking my Women's Month about resilience, about love, unconditional love. And so at this time, without any wasting of time, I would like to have the author, Andrea Moodley herself, start with a presentation. Can we make some noise for her?
Yeah!
Oh, and by the way, I am Dr. Ashanti Wangidi, the founder, visionary of the Institute of Africology, and of course, a facilitator for this year's 5th Annual International Book Fair. Over to you.
Thank you everyone for gathering around.
A little bit.
I also want to thank the organizers of the Durban International Book Fair for awarding me the opportunity to launch and present my book, my first book, The Grace Spectrum. This book was birthed 4 years ago at my son's 10th birthday party. My uncle just shared a sentiment with me that I should write a book. And 4 months later, we sadly lost him. But his words stayed with me, and I began this journey of writing 4 years ago. This is a story of my son and I, as a single mom 14 years ago, receiving a diagnosis over my child, a diagnosis of autism and ADHD, navigating single special need parenting, navigating dealing with challenges like substance abuse, gender-based violence, unforgiveness. These are some of the obstacles that were in my path. It's a story of teaching people about how to connect with God, God, the giver of life. And I believe that there are so many institutions that, we do these ritualistic traditions, but many miss the mark in knowing who actually created me and what does he want me to do with my life. And through this book, I give readers a step-by-step guide of how to connect with God, how to forgive. I think unforgiveness is one of the things that stop us from walking in our true identity, walking in our true calling. And I believe that God has a plan and purpose for everybody. Despite whatever your challenges, whatever your obstacle may be, I believe wholeheartedly that He has a purpose. And through these struggles, He refines us. Through the challenges that we go through, He reconstructs us. And I'm really excited to launch this book today because a portion of the proceeds from this book will be going into an organization called the Alroy Organization, where we will be setting up places of relaxation, play therapy, safe homes for children like my son, special needs children, on the entire spectrum. So that's cerebral palsy, autism, ADHD. We also have a desire to help people struggling with substance abuse, and this is what our organization plans to do in society. So thank you once again, and I'm happy to be here today.
Okay, so we are now really on the launch, and I'm excited because I opened the book at random, and the first thing that I opened, Andrea, was only God knows what He plans to do in you and through you. Your career is not your destiny, and your job is not your calling. As important as they are simply the means to earn an income, survive, and provide for your family. And I'm not so sure why it went there. But tell us some of the favorite parts of the book, and give us a little bit of journey into actual writing of the book.
That's actually something that stands out to me as well, because I think when we meet people, the first thing we want to talk about is what our title is, where we work and what we do. I'm an accountant at company X, I feel that many of us have lost the understanding that there's so much more to life than your career. And I also talk about the different avenues of, I would call, ministry, where we need people in society to rise up. Areas of human trafficking, substance abuse, gender-based violence, the special needs community, bullying in schools. You know, there are so many areas where we could find, where we could be useful in society and change the trajectory of other people's lives.
Okay, so let's talk about support because it's Women's Month. And I know we are just typical wanting to be superwoman. And I noticed in your book you had a whole list of people. Talk about support and women like yourselves who are a single mother, having to deal with a special needs child. How does that happen? And just talk to us about that.
Sure, sure. So I do mention in my book that the African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. I've been blessed with the support of my family. My mom has been an exceptional support. So has my uncle in Johannesburg, Uncle Bob's. My dad as well. There were times where I would want to maybe attend a church meeting and my dad would maybe offer to keep my child overnight or my mom was there to assist. And the support has been overwhelming, even from neighbors. Like my mom's neighbor would sometimes hear my son having a meltdown, and she would welcome him into her home, give him a meal, have a chat with him. And I think this is how a society should be.
It sounds like Ubuntu to me.
Definitely.
It sounds like Ubuntu. So in the book, chapters 3 and 4, because I had to go through it, chapter 3 talk about broken for multiplication. And chapter 4 speaks about provoked into purpose. I'm excited to hear broken for multiplication, provoked into purpose. What were you thinking?
Sure. So I love these chapters and thank you for highlighting them. The broken for multiplication comes actually from a story in the Bible where the lunch of a little boy, the 5 loaves and 2 fish were taken, and the bread was broken and it was then multiplied as they handed it out to people. And it stood out to me because in the Bible, Jesus is known as the bread of life. One of the many names for him is the bread of life. And we see that even though it's diminishing in value because it's being broken, it's actually being multiplied and fed, so it's sustaining other people. And I believe that so many times we go through seasons of brokenness and we think that, you know, this is going to be the end of me. I can't accept this diagnosis. It's going to really kill me. But if we can surrender ourselves in that difficult season and ask God, what is it that you want to teach me through this season? What do you desire for me to become through this breaking? We will then see how the change and transformation can impact other people's lives.
Wonderful. You know, I am looking at the titles that are so specific, and I saw you were welling up about your uncle, but there is chapter 6, thriving while surviving. And this is what you said in your book. I may not have chosen to be a special needs mother. I had no control over that, but what I do have is the power to choose my response to it. What were you trying to say there?
Thank you. I'm so pleased that you mentioned that part. And I think there are so many times in life where we are dealt certain cards and we forget that we have a power to choose. We still have a power to decide how will I respond in the situation. And my choice was that I will still take my son out into public. I'm not going to keep him in the house. I'm not going to hibernate. I'm going to allow people to experience autism and ADHD just as I'm experiencing it. I'm experiencing it for the first time. So if someone's going to meet me in the mall, let them experience it for the first time. Let him get the exposure. Let people start to adapt and accept that there are different people in society and we need to accommodate for them. We need to also support them. If the child is having a meltdown in the middle of the aisle in the grocery store, let me try and assist. Is there something I can do to help? You know, those stairs and walking away, I think we need to come to a stage where we, you know, turn away from all of that and offer to help and lend that helping hand.
Amazing. So one might ask, how is it possible for both thriving and surviving to coexist. And you talk about another phase in your life about a blended family. And I think it's a blessing because I know how that feels to be a mother and a wife in a blended family. So I wanted to speak to that.
So I came to a stage in life where I accepted that I would be a single special needs mom. It was during a season while I was away working in Vietnam, and I accepted it and I made peace with it. I said, there's no guy who's going to accept this situation of mine. I might as well thrive while I'm in it. And it just so happened that God had other plans, and here's my husband today. He had a little girl who was 11 at the time, and now she's 18. And we still have our challenges. I speak about it in chapter 7, still journeying, still seeing, because I believe that even while we're learning daily, we are still seen by God and He's still helping us along the way.
Wonderful. You were late when I said I wanted it from this angle. I don't want to take this grade. Oh, okay. So we're gonna close up a little bit, but what I'm excited about is where will the book go? What do you want this book to be? We talk about it takes a village to raise a child. We talk about the act of Ubuntu, but this book, the Grace Spectrum, in itself speaks about us as African people having grace. Where is this book going to go from this launch today?
I believe this book is going to go throughout communities, rural areas, throughout the provinces of the country, into Africa, into the world. I believe that this book is going to impact nations and help people to change their mindset about certain things. I believe it's not only going to help the special needs community, but it's going to help anybody who struggles with unforgiveness, struggles with addiction, struggles with any diagnosis or any challenge that they're experiencing in life. I believe it's going to really transform minds and help people to see the other side of the coin.
Well, you've heard it for yourself. This launch is also about buying one of these books and making sure that we have the Elroy organization up and running. We need more of these organizations. And what I love about it is that your passion will be there to grow this organization. You're not coming from outside looking inside, you're coming from within. So please, just the people are gathered here. How much is the book? And how do we get our own copies autographed at the launch?
The book is currently 250 Rand, and I'm outside. I'm happy to meet with you, sign your book, and help you on your journey as well. I've got my personal details in the book. If you'd like to follow up on our organization months down the line or years from now, I believe we will be established with our own premises in a few years or maybe months from now. So I am very hopeful and I have a lot of faith that the vision that God has given me is going to thrive. And when I say God, I do not speak about only the God that I've experienced. I speak about God to humanity. So the God of everybody. So I'm really happy to meet with you.
Well, I'm really blessed and honored that I've been given this chance to sit with a woman of the nation, a woman who's about to do amazing things, a woman who's going to change the way how people see children with special needs, and the fact that you are giving us some tools to be able, for those of us who don't have special needs children, but we are having a tool book that will guide us on when we do encounter others from special needs. I'd like to open it up a little bit. Do you mind? If there's anyone with comments, encouragement, you've heard her. We are going to be building an infrastructure. So 5 minutes, I want to open it up to those who are here. Anything, it is a launch. So we don't have the champagne and the thing, but we have words. So may I ask one or two people who would like to say something? I'd like you to come up and just give your words of encouragement.
I just want to know what happens with education. Is it a different school or the same school, the different classroom?
Sure. So there are special needs schools in South Africa, but they are very limited. And I've also had challenges getting my son into a government special needs school. There are only two in my area, and they can only have about 6 students in the class. So it's really a struggle for parents. I know many parents who have their kids at home, and I believe that this play center, that is our first project, can be a place where parents can bring their children to spend the day. It will be a therapeutic place where they are going to be sensory activities where they can come in and play, and we plan to have everything at the bare minimum price to allow everybody access.
Wonderful. Thank you for that question. Anyone?
I'm going to say something that not in as I just speak, that God only gives you that which you can give. This is something, it's not new, it's not original, it's something that all of us here and all know about that. And there is always a reason for pain. To only surrender and go closer to God. And if you don't take your lessons, the pain only comes back in a larger form. So I'm going to show you something on my phone that came in last night from a friend, resembling the cover of your book. It's exactly the same color of the cover of your book. And I'm going to read it for you. Imagine introducing yourself without mentioning your job, without mentioning your achievements, without mentioning what you own. Who would you become in that conversation? That's probably the real introduction.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're committed to that.
Um, Speaks very beautifully to the title and to the story that of the book that you have shared. And on earth, everybody loved butterflies, but I trusted the caterpillars more. I trusted the ones who knew that they were not done growing. I just sort of received this message from a friend last night in connection with a 10-year-old autistic child that I came across and was being kept inside the home. And I said, why? This child needs to go to school. This child needs interaction. This child needs other children. Not when someone knocks at the door, put him away, you are ashamed. You should not be. And I said, I'm happy to make phone calls to wherever there are a few schools that I know to just get admission. And this came from the good news of the admission to a school out in not far from home. The parents took a week's leave to go and spend with the child, and I said, ingratiate yourself into that environment. Be there. Accept your child. It's a gift from God, irrespective, and you speak so beautifully to it that the day you accept it, what was before you, what was put in your womb, is the day I think you grew and you are glowing.
Yes, she is. With tears. Do you want to comment to that?
I fully understand the parent's heart in wanting to keep the child away. I won't say I've been there because I've been stubborn in taking my son out. But it's just the way society receives the child. And I really hope that our work that we've started is going to help parents to find that courage and to do what needs to be done to help their child.
Wonderful. Okay.
Okay, I'd just like to comment. I just want to say thank you so much for everything that you're doing, including writing your book in South Africa and in Africa as a whole. We often find it difficult or uncomfortable to talk about such things. So, you writing this book and welcoming us into your home, taking us into your world, putting us inside your shoes, just making it us able, enabling us to be able to know how to treat a person with special needs. Because often we just try to avoid it, we try to move away from it, but you have given us the opportunity to see it from your point of view and learn what it's actually like. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Milton. Yep, so I think at this point I would like to say all the best with the beautiful journey. And I'm sure all of us in this room can't wait on a bated breath to come and see the launch of that infrastructure you are now going to be doing. So, what would it be called?
The Alloy organization, but this first project will be the hiding place.
Oh, the hiding place. What a name!
Because parents want to hide their kids away, so come to our hiding place. We can hide together.
Oh, okay, we get it. So once again, thank you. We are here at the 5th annual Durban International Book Fair, where we are happy to launch The Great Spectrum by our esteemed author. I see 3 books coming out of this. Andrea Moodley. Can you give her a round of applause? Thank you so much, Andrea. And I'd like to invite those of you who are going to buy the book, if you could come and maybe take your book and have it signed here. But in the meantime, can we just have a group picture with her, as we are the ones who are launching it with her? So I'll ask you to come closer and we'll do a quick group picture. Is that okay with you? Okay, excellent. Let's do this.